Coming up on today's Sun and Fun edition of Airborne-Unlimited. News from King Schools, Top Rudder, Aileronics Flight Club, Jet Shades, and MyGoFlight. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to Day 3 of Sun and Fun 2024 and another very windy day at Lakeland Linder International Airport. Today's show is presented by King Schools. Save 22% on King School courses with code ANN. Speaking of King Schools, let's find out what they had to say at this afternoon's press conference. 50 years. What a milestone for the aviation world's master aero-education duo. John, Martha, and their CEO Barry Knutilla have come to Sun and Fun to celebrate a half-century of keeping us educated while also casting eyes upon the future.
Well, I would like to thank you all for coming. So I'm going to start with 2 new courses at King Schools. And we're really excited about each one of these. And the first of them is a brand new course called Maneuvers for the Private Pilot. And what this is taking each of the maneuvers in the Private Pilot ACS and actually taking them up into the air, demonstrating them, showing the student how to set up properly for the maneuver, how to execute the maneuver, and then all of the possible errors and corrections for those errors that students typically make with that maneuver. So the next course is a wonderful course. It's a free course. Martha does an amazing job of explaining the E6B and both sides of the E6B, the calculation side as well as on the back of the E6B is the wind side where you do your cross-country planning. And knowing how to do that makes you absolutely bulletproof in terms of always having a device that you can use to calculate whether your batteries work or not. The next bit of news that I'd like to talk about, and I'm honored to talk about, thrilled to talk about, is that John and Martha were recently honored in Washington, D.C. by AOPA, Air Safety Institute, and received the inaugural Richard G. McSpadden General Aviation Safety Award. So it's the first time that the Safety Award has been renamed the Richard McSpadden Award, and John and Martha were chosen as the recipients of it because of the contribution that they have made individually and through King Schools over the years for aviation safety.
Now, the next subject we're going to talk about
is scholarships.
Women in Aviation International.
And this is our 9th year of jointly doing a scholarship through Women in Aviation for female flight instructors to either acquire their CFI certificate or to add a rating to that certificate. Our scholarship winner with WAI this year is Jamie Clays. She's in Alaska right now. Alaska weather is good enough to begin flying, and so she's hard at work up there.
Eric applied for a scholarship from National Association of Flight Instructors, and you are going to use this to do, what are you going to use the award for?
I want to give back to the aviation community that has given so much to me.
Coming up after the break, news from Top Rudder.
There's a lot of places I get to at the end of the runway or in turnarounds that I need an engine running. So for me, it's very important to have a product that I'm absolutely confident with. I am very confident with the Trailblazer propeller. When I'm flying air shows, I know that propeller is going to be right for me.
Welcome back. Updates from Top Rudder. Want to land and take off really short? Want to keep it simple? Want it to cost less than your house? Bryce Angell's newly created Top Rudder aircraft has some affordable, highly capable, STOL-ready toys.
Bryce, second day of Sun and Fun. It's supposed to be 88 degrees. We're ready for it. It's Florida. We're just pumping up. And then we see the natural air conditioning.
That's right.
I mean, airplanes are cool, but man, there are airplanes that are just meant to be toys and be played with them just like that. And this thing really got our attention. Tell us all about the Top Rudder project.
Yep, so Top Rudder is an aircraft company that I acquired about 2 months ago, and the original owner designer of this airplane was Troy Woodland, who most folks know from Just Aircraft. And he built...
They know a thing or two about short takeoff and landing. Little bit.
They have some of the highest performing STOL planes in the world, and I'm happy to say that I own one called the Super STOL XL. And so a lot of the design elements for this particular airplane came from that development. It's a very robustly built airplane. It has a chromoly fuselage, and this is prototype. This is the prototype, serial number 1. The one that we are offering is slightly modified in that we're going with an all-aluminum wing. We're going to have a full carbon tail. We're doing carbon fiber jury struts and an aluminum, and also an option for a carbon fiber flaperon. So a lot of more modern, updated changes are happening to improve the strength, the weight, and also the safety overall. We will be offering this as a solo, which is Part 103 compliant, where we can keep the weight under the 254 pounds. So that's going to be offered down the road. Right now we're only taking deposits on the Ruckus. This seems to be the one that everybody wants, with the big motors and the tires and the brakes and all that fun stuff. But this one comes standard with the Polini 303 Thor motor. This plane is so easy to fly that once you realize it does what you tell it to do, and you've got the integrated safety, with the slats and all that, I think that folks are going to really have a good time with this airplane.
Well, keep us up to date on what you're doing, please.
Yeah, would love to. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about the Ruckus. Let's make a Ruckus.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Aileronics introduces Sentinel. The ultimate cockpit visual aid, Aileronics has introduced the Sentinel, a portable sensor that can be mounted in any cockpit and assist with the chores of seeing and avoiding hazards in your flight path.
What we're showing today and what we're developing is Sentinel. It is a computer vision co-pilot that increases visual situational awareness for all of our general aviation pilots in the sky. So technology has been bringing us great capabilities in the air, but it also brings attention into the cockpit rather than outside. And even today we're seeing dozens of fatal accidents in the United States every year due to failure to visually identify hazards. On top of this, many of these visual outside tasks are currently unassisted by technology. Things such as visually identifying traffic, visually identifying weather, other airborne hazards. And so Sentinel aims to directly address these problems for the general aviation market and the student pilot population that is constantly growing. And most importantly, unlike a normal certified permanently installed avionics package, Sentinel is portable. So with its portable form factor, we can install it in any aircraft on the windshield, which reduces costs and ease of installation. It has multiple power options. It can be powered either via an add-on battery or directly from aircraft power. It has a custom imaging system that delivers and interprets an ultra-wide field of view, about 180 degrees left and right and about 25 degrees up and down. And through all this, it has AI-accelerated hardware that captures that image data, processes it, and then detects and identifies visual airborne hazard information to the pilot through their existing devices. So we see Sentinel as an essential part of the pilot's toolkit, and we're excited to continue refining this product, gathering pilot feedback, and really refining this down to a great product that we see everybody being able to get great value out of.
The first rule of Flight Club: do talk about Flight Club. There's a cool new offering by the name of Flight Club. Flight Club is a double-sided marketplace that connects aircraft owners with pilots looking to rent an aircraft. The idea is not a new one, but this execution shows promise.
Flight Club is an aviation sharing marketplace, and we help owners reduce their costs, and we help pilots go flying with aircraft that are closer to home, more accessible, and significantly cheaper than what's currently available on the market per hour. People use Flight Club because it's convenient. It's an A to Z aviation sharing platform service, and we offer anything that you would need to facilitate sharing your airplane, from insurance to scheduling to payment processing. What does an owner do that wants to list on our platform? So you as an owner would come to us and say, I've got this wonderful airplane that is my baby, but I'm not using it enough. So I want it to fly more often, and I want to reduce my cost of ownership so that I can keep it longer and share my joy of aviation with other people. So you would list your airplane on the platform. You would decide your price per hour. I'll give you a quick example of we're using a Cessna 172. And you'll say, hey, Flight Club, I want to list it at $100 an hour. So what will happen is on the platform, it will show up at $110 an hour. And we lose 3% of that to payment processing fees. But the remainder of that we use to find you new pilots by advertising and make sure these pilots meet your criteria. So how does it work for pilots? Kind of in reverse to the owners. You search for aircraft that are close to you. You search for aircraft that meet your mission. Most of our pilots are time builders, or they're people that want to do fun flights on weekends or weekdays with just longer time of bookings and go further than your typical flying school schedule allows. As we all know, flying schools are very busy, so it's hard to get longer bookings. So as a pilot, you would apply to fly. Once you're initially approved, you'd complete the open book exam, and then you would complete the check flight.
Staying cool with jet shades. The sun is your friend, except when it's not. Jet Shades seems to have come up with a more protective solution when it comes to the heat, glare, UV, and other distractions of the sun while in flight, making flying a lot more comfortable.
Hi, my name is Melissa Roden. I'm here with Jet Shades. We are FAA-approved shades for both in-flight and on the ground. Back in 2018, our president, Kevin Dugan, invented Jet Shades because he was tired of baking in the plane. And he's also an engineer, so he designed this himself. And since then, just 5 short years later, we are now in over 5,000 aircraft and growing weekly.
It's innovative because it's there for one purpose: to protect the pilot from UV, heat, solar energy, reduce pilot fatigue, and just make the pilots feel good while they fly. And our latest product is called a cruising shade. Now, cruising shades are for when you're flying above the clouds, and when you're at the cruise mode, meaning your level of flight's the en route portion of flight. And that sun is just beaming in through the windshield, just killing you with UV and baking you in the cockpit, especially flying east to west in the afternoons. You simply slide these up, they tuck behind the upper windshield jet shade, and they rest on your dash, and they block the heat, UV, and glare, and protect the pilots. And these are a pilot favorite. I've just introduced these. Every single test pilot, they won't give me back my demos. They keep them, and then they demand that I make them more because these are so popular. And they work with just about any aircraft. You can just slide them up on your dash and block the heat, sun, and UV while you fly. And of course, it makes it safer because it blocks glare and you can see.
And after the break, learn how MyGoFlight can help you.
The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. With performance surpassing its predecessor, the M700 Fury has 20% shorter takeoff and landing distances, a 30% improved climb rate of over 2,000 feet per minute, and reaches a maximum cruise speed of over 300 knots. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
Welcome back. How can MyGoFlight help you? In-cockpit video and all the accessories that go with it have become an important facet to many flyers as a way to enjoy their flights as well as a valuable educational tool. The MyGoFlight folks have a number of ways to support your aero-video aspirations.
Okay, we're halfway through Sun and Fun. We're waiting on the tornadoes. We're waiting on, Mother Nature to do her thing so we can get on with the really good weather to follow and a great weekend to come and everything else. But it's time to go look at the toys, for gosh sakes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you very much, and I'm glad you stopped by. And thanks for the crew for making it in here today. Don't worry about the wind. That's what we were in all the time anyway.
Well, there you go.
Aviators. So, FlightFlix, recently acquired in June of 23 by MyGoFlight. And me and my business partners decided it was a very good kindred product that works with the MyGoFlight interior mounts. And we have interesting ways and secure ways and safe ways to mount your cameras, for example, GoPros and Insta360s on the exterior of your aircraft to get fantastic videos and images like this. And when we safely mount them, we can mount them to many different locations. We can locate on struts, surface, like access panels, tie downs, handles, and tubes. And it's all FAA compliant. And if you want to know what that means, please visit flightflix.aero. And we have a link at the bottom that will explain all of that for you. So we think that working these things with other applications, ForeFlight, Cloud Ahoy, that data with this imaging is going to be incredible jump ahead and may even decrease your time training. So we think it's going to be a big deal. So you can call us or email us, flightflix.aero, and let us know what your questions are. We're happy to help.
Nick, thanks so much for your time. Take care.
And that does it for day 3 here at Sun and Fun 2024. We'll see you back here tomorrow.